Hi guys, welcome to your English class. I hope that you're okay and your family too. Estimado padre de familia, si usted está acompañando a su hijo en esta sesión digital, es importante que sepa que en este video vamos a estar explicando la manera en cómo resolver las actividades, las cuales deben de practicar todos los días. Celex Preparatoria 15 Florida. So let's begin.
Okay, so let's start with the first topic, simple present tense with the verb to be. So you have to remember that you're going to use the pronouns, personal pronouns, I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. And also the verb to be is going to be divided into three parts, am, are, and is. So you have to remember the rules. I recommend you to check the notes from your notebook, so it's going to be easier to understand. And then you have happy, at school, hungry, a nurse, and big. You have complements, right? So in a negative form, you're going to add the word not, or you can use the contraction like you aren't at home, right? So it's very important to remember that you cannot use contraction with the element n, okay? So talking about is, you can use is not or isn't. And talking about are, you can use are not or aren't. Also, questions. When you are forming the questions, you have to remember that the auxiliary is going to be placed at the beginning of the statement, and then you have the subject, and then you have the complement. So you're going to interchange the elements. They are happy, affirmative sentences. Questions, are they happy? So we have here another example. She is rich. Question, is she rich? So to answer the questions, you can use yes they are or no they aren't, yeah, or in the other case, yes she is, no she isn't. Then you have the last part, that is the contractions. I am not, he is not, I'm not, he is not. You are not, you are not, you aren't. Okay, so you have to check this and practice this in your notebook too. You can write sentences for practicing this. Okay. Now we have the other part related with simple present tense using the auxiliary do and does. So this is a review. We checked this in the class, so you have the notes in your notebook. You have here, check your notes in your notebook. So the first thing that you have to know is the use. So use present simple to talk about facts, right? Feeling and emotions, habits and routines, and general truth. And then you have an example. I live in Poland. They like pizza. They swim every day. Sunday comes after Saturday. Okay? So you are going to use these auxiliaries do and does to create questions and to create negative statements, right? So but first you have to remember the rule. You're going to use does with she, he, it, and then when you finish, you're going to use the other one, that is do, with they, you, we, and I, to make questions and to write negative sentences. So let's check the example. The examples related with the questions, right? So you have in the first element the auxiliary, and then you have the subject, and then you have the verb, right? Do I, you, we, they go? Does he, she, it want or like? Now we have to check the other statements. I don't cook every day, right? So you can use I do not, or you can use the contraction, I don't cook every day. She does not go out every Sunday, or you can use the auxiliary with the contraction, she doesn't go out every Sunday. In this section, you have an exercise to practice simple present tense. Yeah, the notes from your notebook are going to help you. And then you have the instruction. It says, fill in the spaces with the correct form of the verb in simple present tense. You have the example. I play the guitar. right? Example, Jessica plays the guitar. So you have to remember the rule. With he, she, and it, you have to add the letter S to the verb. So I have already answered the first one and the second one for you. And then you're going to continue with the rest ones, right? So you have, I am 16 years old. Tom lives. And then you have the rest of the statement, but you have to remember that you have to add the letter S because you are talking about the third person, that is Tommy. Tommy lives, okay? So just for practicing enough, I decided to include online activities to practice simple present tense. So click here, yeah? And you have to answer these. Be honest because you have the answers. Be honest, try to do it first by your own and then you can compare your answers. Now we're going to continue with another topic, that is simple past tense, in which you're going to use the auxiliary did, but also you have to know regular and irregular verbs. This is also review. You have the notes in your notebook, right? Simple past tense, regular verbs, spelling rules. Yeah, you have to check with, with verbs you're going to add E and D at the end of the word, right? And also you have to check the rules. It says base form ed, verbs ending in e plus d. Okay, what happened? You're going to add only the letter d. And then you have verbs ending in a consonant plus y. You have to change the y, for the letter I, right? And then some verbs ending in a single consonant, the second last letter is vowel, double the last letter, plus ed. And then you have the example with the verb plan and stop. Okay, so as you need to practice, let's check the rules again. Remember, base form ed, verbs ending in e plus d. The only thing they have to do is to add the letter D. Verbs ending in a consonant plus Y, you're going to change the Y for the letter I plus D, like study and carry, right? Some verbs ending in a single consonant plus the second last letter is vowel, double the last letter plus D, like in plan and stop. Remember the rules and practice them. And then we have irregular verbs, simple past tense. So in here you have to memorize them. So you have go, change to went, give to gave, and so on. So these ones are very common. So you have to write sentences in your notebook. You have to write paragraph, right? So use them, yeah? It's going to be easier for you to use the language every single day. Now we're going to talk about simple past tense of be, singular and plural. So you have the pronouns I with was, you were, you as a singular, right? She was, he was, it was, and then you have the plural. We were, you were, they were, right? So you have to create now the statements, right? So you have the rule here, okay? Let's check the examples. You have you were lucky, she was lucky, we went to school, okay? Simple past tense. And then you have the second column. It says you were not or weren't lucky. She was not or wasn't lucky with the contraction. We didn't go to school. This is very important because in the positive statement, you use the verb in simple past, that is went. But when you're going to use a negative statement in simple past, you're going to use the auxiliary did. but you cannot write the main verb in simple past, right? So if you're using the auxiliary did to create questions or to create negative statements, the main verb has to be in base form. So let's share with the questions you have. Were you lucky? Remember, the auxiliary is going to be placed at the beginning of the statement, and then you have the subject, and then you have the complement. Was she lucky? Did we go to school? So here, the last one. Did we go to school? So you have the auxiliary did at the beginning. So the main verb is going to be in base form, right? Practice a lot. So here we have online activities to practice simple past tense. So click here, right? And practice. Then we have here another activity. It says exercise number 2, write the correct past form. So you have infinitive, that is the base form of the verb, and you have past simple, right? So you have to change the verb. So if you have the infinitive, you have to change it into simple past tense, or if you have simple past tense, you have to write the infinitive form. So this is going to help you to practice the verbs, irregular verbs. And also I think that you can find here some regular verbs, right? So now we have the topic that is called present continuous or present progressive, that is the same, in which the main instruction is going to be the verb to be plus the main verb in ing form. So also you have the rule, right? I am, you are, he, she is, we are, you as a plural are, they are learning English, right? So you have the subject, the verb to be, plus the main verb in ing form with the complement. As in the topic simple past, in here with present progressive, we have also spelling rules. So you have the base form, cook, eat, speak, right? So you're going to change ing form, cooking, eating, speaking. So in here you only add ing. When you have buy, enjoy, or try, and at the end of the verb you have the letter Y, you're going to add ing, right? Final letter Y is in the same place. Yeah, you're not going to change anything here. When you have go, for example, and do, also you're going to add only ing, going and doing. When you have drive, share, and write, when you have verbs that end, right, with the letter E, you have to change that letter, yeah, and you have to change it for ing, driving, sharing, and writing. So you have to omit the letter E and add ing. So when you have, for example, you have here lie, so you're going to add ing, but you have to change, right? You have to eliminate the y and e, and you have to add ing form. And you have skip, hut, and swim. You have verbs with with one syllable, so you have a vowel in the middle, right? You have to, the final 3 letters are consonant, vowel, consonant. That's why you have swimming, putting, skipping. You're going to double this last consonant, right? Very good. Now we're going to check the structure, the whole statement. You have the action is happening now or right now. That's the use. So you have positive statements. You have subject plus the verb to be plus the main verb in ing form. So you have I'm working, you're working, he's working, she's working, it is working, we are working, you are working, they are working. So in negative statements, remember that you can use the contraction or you can use the whole statement, for the whole word. You have I am not working, You aren't working or you are not working. He isn't working or he is not working. But remember that with am, you cannot use contraction, right? So you can use it with isn't and aren't only. And when you have the question, remember that the verb to be is going to be placed at the beginning, and then you're going to have in the middle the subject, and at the last one, the last part is going to be the main verb in ing form. Am I working? Are you working? Is he working? Is she working? Is it working? Okay? So just remember the structure. The right structure for positive, negative, and question statements. Okay, so guess what? Here we have more online activities to practice present continuous. So clicking here and practice, all the activities. And remember, try to answer these online activities first by your own and then check the answers. Be honest, you can do it.
Okay guys, that's all for today. Don't forget to answer all the activities, practice with your book, write with your workbook and with your notebook. Write, do your homeworks and practice every day. See you soon. Miss you. Bye.